We want to bring back Julie Kay. She is here.
I never left, to be honest with you.
Really, she really never left.
I just linger here. Yeah.
So let's roll it out. So Julie is covering another story about an energy bill, and so again, let me lay it out for you. So your Duke energy bill could look different. This is after a veto override this week here in North Carolina, and the new law eliminates a requirement for Duke Energy to lower carbon emissions. Look, Democrats, Republicans, they both are disagreeing on.
Shocker.
Yeah. Which is, shocker in all of this. So break this down. Again, this was something that was introduced, passed, vetoed by Governor Stein. His veto overwritten.
Mm-hmm. Now we're here. So this bill is really interesting because it does multiple things. So you mentioned the requirement that goes away for Duke Energy. Remember, a few years ago, the General Assembly said by 2030, Duke Energy needs to reduce their carbon emissions by 70% compared to 2005. Duke Energy had already said, we can't really meet that goal, so it had been extended a little bit. But this now law gets rid of that entirely. They don't have to come up with another goal until 2050. So that pushes it back really, really far, and there's no word yet on what that goal would even be. Interestingly, though, it also allows Duke Energy to start charging ratepayers, for new plants that have not finished construction yet. So that's really interesting. It's not the first state to do that. We're not the first. Other states, South Carolina has done that, but that's a controversial thing for sure because there's no promise that there have been plants in other states that have not been finished. And so taxpayers or ratepayers are being charged kind of ahead of time before that's even built. Now, you mentioned the disagreement between Democrats and Republicans. Not surprising, but I think what's really interesting here is they don't disagree necessarily about the goal. Mm-hmm. They disagree about what this bill is going to do. Everyone says they want to lower rates. Naturally.
Right.
Republicans say this will lower rates because you're not imposing these regulations and restrictions that we, quote unquote, as Republicans, see as bad and see as something that hinders Duke from being able to do what they need to do to lower rates. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, Democrats say putting this into law will actually raise rates because this puts the risk on consumers as opposed to Duke in terms of fuel. We know that fuel is not something that is the most steady in terms of how much it costs, but it is trending upwards. So there's been multiple studies that say different things about how much this is going to cost. So the answer is we know that it will probably change your Duke Energy bill if you live in North Carolina. Yeah. We just don't know how yet.
And it's just interesting because of the timing, because a lot of folks, you're seeing your bill increase because of the amount of energy folks are using. It's hot outside.
It's real hot.
So I just think it's very interesting because of the timing of all this, and folks are already starting to see spending more on their energy bill. Again, Julie hasn't left. She's been covering a couple of stories so far. When can folks check out this story this afternoon?
This story will be on at 6.
At 6 o'clock, but Julie is working around the clock. She's live at 4 and 5, right, for City Council.
The way that I don't even know. I think I'm at 4 for
I know
City Council.
Julie has a lot on her plate today. 4 and 5 on Charlotte City Council changes. We talked about that a little earlier, and then 6 o'clock on this energy bill here in North Carolina, the veto override.
Yes.
On that one. Julie, thank you for your time. It's Friday. I could say happy Friday to you.
Yes.
Happy Friday, Julie.
Happy Friday.
All right. Let's